Alright, welcome. Another stream. It's much earlier than I usually stream, but today just gonna be doing a Matrix Fanart. Continuing the series that I did. It's one of my favorite paintings I did this year was this Morpheus painting. So this one is gonna be Neo. And I have just a sketch that I did, and on my reference I scanned it in the Procreate and did a mock-up to get an idea for the colors. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be painting today. I'm gonna be using acrylic gouache, and we'll see how it goes. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Thanks for joining. Hope you had a good day. And yeah. What kind of sketchbook do I use? This is a Strathmore Tone Tan Mixed Media. I'm gonna use a green underpainting for like the Matrix green color. Give everything on top of it kind of that look. But yeah, basically it was just a combination of, I have a bunch of images on my reference board, and I just kind of combined them to make this one. I love Strathmore Tone Tan. Yes, it's great, and the mixed media is nice too, because it can accept water-based media. I love your hair. Thank you. This is a much earlier stream. I usually stream late at night, but it's you are pretty. Thank you. What's good, brother? Love your art style. Thank you. Compliments. Love your art, bro. Thank you. But yeah, just chilling, painting. I started with this sketch. You might be able to see it a little. It's lightly. I started sketching in pen, but then I was like, I might just I just printed it out. I scanned. This is the original drawing, which was just ballpoint pen. And then I scanned it into my iPad and resized it so that I can just not redraw it again. So I just scribble on the back of it and trace it onto my paper so that I wouldn't have to redraw it. But I started to redraw it and I was like, yeah, I feel like just saving some time. All those fans hi from UK. Thank you. What paint brand am I using? This is Turner acrylic gouache. What are the advantages of acrylic gouache versus water-based? Acrylic gouache, once it dries, it doesn't reactivate. So if you like to paint with layers, it's a little easier to do so, because when you're painting, the paint that's already down doesn't wash up and redisturb, versus regular gouache, which does. But if you like to blend your painting a little bit more, then regular gouache is nice because you can always reactivate it even after it dries. So it just depends on what you're kind of going for, how you like to work and everything. I like to switch between both. I usually have my phases where I'm feeling acrylic gouache for a while, and then I'll want to do regular gouache for a while as well. So it really just kind of depends on my mood. And then watercolor. Do you ever have issues with the paper piling up? It always does that for me on mixed media paper. No, but I can see that happening if you're maybe if you're scrubbing too hard. That could potentially be a reason why you might be getting that issue. When I paint, I try to have a light touch. Never like digging into the paper. But I mean, cheaper paper is kind of can struggle with like peeling for sure. It's crazy how do you start with one color and go to different colors. A lot of painters in general like to use under base coats, like under paintings, and it's a number of strategies you can use for an underpainting. But one of the main reasons is just to get rid of like the white of the paper. Even though this is tone paper, it doesn't really have white. But in my case, I'm just using it to have like a single unifying color, so that every color on top of it has some of that color harmony in it. And since it's like a matrix fan art, and matrix has kind of like that green tint to everything, so I just wanted to start with that in this painting. But yeah, in general, just base colors. Once I put it down kind of dilute and then build from there. So even though the whole thing does have the one color, it's easy to cover up since it's not super opaque, but it just gives every color you put on top of it just a hint of that color below. Yeah. And I don't know if that answered the question, but yeah, if you need any other questions, feel free, for sure. What's the difference between gouache and acrylic gouache? One, acrylic gouache has an acrylic base, which means once it dries, it is not reactivatable. It doesn't reactivate. And I'm using acrylic gouache right now. Hi Jordan, what's the difference? Oh, I think I just answered that. This is a earlier stream. So now that this base layer is down, I'm gonna do a quick value study. I have the same process every time: base color, value study, and then start to paint in like the actual colors that I'm seeing. But these steps just kind of help me get started, help me break the reference down into general light and dark shapes. Hey, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Can you elaborate on the journey that brought you to your current art style? The journey that brought me. So I can say when I was first getting back into art, I was like just trying to copy from the reference as much as like as close as possible. But for some reasons, at some point, I like found that if I use like angular shapes, like straight lines and angular shapes, that helped me to like be able to quickly measure proportions and stuff like that. So I started using that as like when I'm establishing the drawing, but I actually liked how the angular looked. I liked how like that blocky angular style looked. So instead of just only keeping it in the construction phase of a drawing, I just like kept it in the final drawing. The journey that brought me there, I guess that happened during one of the early years when I was doing Inktober. But instead of like the actual following the prompt list, I would just do like 30 different portraits every day in October, and just doing all of those kind of. I stumbled on that. Why do you make art? It's just because it's fun. I don't really have a deep reason for it. It's fun and it's relaxing. It helps me to like focus. When I finally do start, because for some reason my mind just races all the time. But like if I'm doing something that helps me to focus, it's nice because it stops my mind from racing. So, do you sell your art? Do I sell my art? Yeah, I sell every once in a while, and I commissions and random client work. So I'm like kind of all over the place. Do you like comics? Yeah, I like comics. That's kind of what got me into art in the first place. Hello, hey, how's it going? Yeah, if you want to get good at drawing, you gotta draw a lot. Yeah, you gotta draw a lot. Start off drawing stuff you like, just so that the habit like sticks. And then once you find what you like, then start getting curious about it and learning the ins and outs of it, so that if it's people, then you want to learn anatomy, and if it's backgrounds, then you want to learn perspective. Don't just have fun with it. There's no pressure. Your art is fire. Thank you. Watching you makes me feel cooped. I don't know what that means. When I was in high school, I drew nearly every student in my school on rice paper. How'd you like working in rice paper? That's super thin, right? It's almost like tracing paper, maybe. I really enjoy seeing your time lapse. Are you recording a time lapse of this piece? Yeah, I'm recording it. I have my camera. My phone is recording the time lapse for Instagram, and then the camera is recording. I mean, it's what I'm streaming with. So camera quality might be a little bit better than my previous streams, because before I was just using this webcam to record the drawing. But I wanted to see what it's like streaming with like an actual camera. Sorry if I hit send on the first time. I might have missed it. Drawing gets me so frustrated, I often end up throwing it. Yeah, drawing's tricky. Like, it's like the basis for most art, at least representational art. Like, drawing is like your foundation, and then from there, painting and color and all that other stuff you can build on top of it. But having solid drawing skills really helps you out with that. So as such, it's like one of the harder things to learn, just learning how to break things down. So it's completely normal. So try not to get too frustrated, and just know that if you stick with it long enough, eventually something clicks, and you have like a jump in progress, and then a plateau, and then jump in progress and plateau, and ever ending until you stop, basically. I'm from Brazil too, bro. Yeah, that's cool. Besides the United States, Brazil is like the second most populous country that follows me for some reason. I appreciate it though. It really is a foundational skill, but I skipped it and went to painting, and I paint much better than you draw. Well, you probably, like, drawing doesn't specifically necessarily mean drawing with the pencil. Like, you can draw with paint as well. Drawing is just the process of just capturing 3D on 2D space. It's kind of what I draw in paint. I like to draw with a paintbrush. I draw with pen, pencil. It's yeah, I guess drawing is more just, I don't know. Forgot where I was going with that. I haven't drawn in a while. You were inspiring me to get active again. Nice, yeah. It's always breaks are just a natural part of it, you know. And try not to feel too bad about the break. That's a good point. Maybe that is the concept I struggle with. I don't enjoy drawing with the pencil. I'd rather chisel shape out with the brush. Yeah, me too actually. I don't really like drawing with pencil either. I like drawing better with pen, because the lines don't smear. But like thinking of blocky shapes, or if you don't like pencil, you can try like those stick like graphite sticks. Something like that might be kind of fun. Since if you think in more in terms of like big shapes, that might help you out. But yeah, drawing, however you draw, whether it's with the pencil, paintbrush, whatever, it's just observation. Those ballpoint pens can be so unpredictable with detail. Yeah, unpredictable in what way? I know sometimes the ink can beat up like on the tip of the pen, and then when you put it down, you get like a big blob of ink. The way I get around that is I have this cotton ball that between strokes, like when I'm drawing, I'll just dab it on this cotton ball so that it cleans off the tip of the pen, so I get like a consistent line every time. I don't know if that's what you meant. Have you ever done mural work? No, I haven't done mural work. I'll be open to trying it though. That would be probably a different type of challenge because most of my stuff is pretty small. I like working on my comfort zone is working in like sketchbooks and smaller scale pieces of paper that fit on your desk. So it'll be interesting to see the difference in process. Yeah, just like the ink, yeah, or the ball will make the line different than you intend. Interesting. I hope that pen cleaning tip was useful. And yeah, if I don't see your comment or question, feel free to say it again. Because whenever I'm looking down, the Instagram chat keeps scrolling when you're not looking, so it just keeps if I miss it, basically I check the chat every time I'm like looking down to mix color. I leave for a minute and it already looks good. Thank you. Yeah, it's a quick value study, and I'm gonna start getting into the colors soon. How do you prevent your paper from bending? When I work with watercolor, it happens all the time. That's natural because when the paper gets wet, the fibers expand, so that's what causes the bending. It bends because it's not evenly wet in all areas. If it were, then it would still be flat, it would just be bigger. So what people do is called stretching your paper, where you take a piece of watercolor paper and you soak the whole thing in water so the entire thing expands like uniformly. And then while it's in that expanded wet state, you tape it down to a piece of paper, and then as it dries, all the fibers get like stretched. It's like if you have like a paper towel and you like stretch it, it dries and keeps it dries in the stretched out state. So when you put more water, it doesn't bend. That's called stretching your paper. So if you really didn't like the bending, then that's one way you can get around it. But it's a bunch of extra work, and I really don't do it that often. I tried it once. I usually just I don't mind the bending because if you tape your paper down, it will dry flatter. It will dry back to a flatter state than it would otherwise. So that's kind of what I do. I just tape my paper down, but I don't really bother stretching it. Or you could use like a thicker paper, like a 300-pound paper. That it won't bend quite as much. Yeah, so I'm do a value study of the face. Basically, I have it where the light is hitting his face from like both sides. So it's like strong rim light on both sides. So see how that goes. It's a little easier. That I did like this mock-up and the digital mock-up of how I wanted the lighting to be. That's a nice way you can combine like the strengths of traditional and digital. Cause I like working traditionally better, but digital is nice for quick edits and experiments and stuff like that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Monday. It feels later in the day. Like daylight savings time. It always takes me, it probably takes a couple days for it to like adjust. Because it does feel later in the day, but it's only 3. Will you work with just greens? No. I'm gonna start once this dries. I'll probably start building up the actual colors. I do like how it looks with just the greens though. But I'm gonna actually paint it too. For the paint, I think I'm gonna just, artwork is dope. Thank you. I think I'm gonna start putting the blacks in of the jacket and clothes, because that will instantly like put all the other values into context. So I like making a black from green and red. That gives you like a nice black, depending on the type of green and type of red. You could leave it like that and be a Beast Boy art. Yeah, it could be. Beast Boy doesn't use guns. But yeah, I could. A lot of time. For like when I like this first stage when it's just like a single color, that only takes like a couple minutes. It only takes like 10 minutes or so, 10 to 20 minutes, and like I want to paint like longer than that after establishing like all the drawing and stuff, because that's a little too short. Maybe I should have took a picture of it at the green stage. I love your work, bro. You inspire me. Thank you. For some, I was gonna say something. I forgot what it was. And lately, I like, even though it's acrylic gouache, I like to build it up with like thin layers first, and then build the opacity on top. Just because I like having a variation in paint layer thicknesses. Quick question: what type of color pencil do you use, and where do your inspiration come from? Colored pencils? I have some. I don't use them too often, but I have some. I have some Faber-Castell color pencils. But yeah, I really haven't like actually made a piece with them though. Yeah, Faber-Castell. What was the other question? What is the style of painting called? The paint I'm using is acrylic gouache. The paint style is, I guess you could call it like color blocking. Basically just sculpting out the painting with like shapes of color. It's kind of how I like to think of it. Yeah, I'm ethereal, respectfully, of course. Thank you. JMR style, appreciate it. Do you always use a reference, or have you tried drawing a face without reference? Yeah, I can draw a face without reference. Reference can hide. Yeah, actually, this one was without reference. I don't know if you can see it on the wall. This one was without reference. But this one is not direct copy reference. Like, it's a kind of a combination. I like the angle of this one. I like the lighting of these two. This one and this one. And then I use the hand. I try to use the hand from this one. So this one is kind of like a combination of a bunch of. It's not a single. And then all those. This is my drawing. I just scanned it into Procreate and then did like a test for the color so that I could have an idea of where to take the painting. Why am I creating it? Just for fun. Just for fun. Oh yes, I like it when he's in the Shrek phase. Yeah, Shrek phase. That's it. That's funny. I guess when I use like the blue underpainting, it's like the Smurf phase. I wonder, did you learn painting from school or practicing? From practicing. Went to school for something else. How do you time yourself when working on a piece of art, and do you feel like you're working too slowly on one piece? Sometimes I get frustrated with myself on how slowly I work. That's a good question. It depends what it's for. So like inherently I don't have like a built-in amount of time that I'm aiming for something to take, unless it's like, if it's like timed figure drawing, then you have the time, built in, because it's, you have however long the pose is. So if it's like 20-minute pose, that's how much time you have, and so on and so forth. If it's personal work, I don't really time it. For portraits, I try to keep it, if it's just like a portrait study, I try to keep it within like 2 or 3 hours, just because like it's just for practice or whatever. But if it's like original art or something that I'm not just looking directly at a photo, and painting from it, then that takes a lot longer. Figuring out drawings and compositions and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Just try not to have too much pressure on yourself. It depends what your goal is. Like, if it's just for you and for fun, like, it takes however long you want it to take, you know. Like, it's no set time that something should or shouldn't take. It's as long as you're having fun with the process and learning from it. That D-Smoke album cover was dope. Thank you. That was fun to do. What did I go to school for? I went to school for chemistry. But yeah. But one thing, if you're trying to learn though, I would say having time limits is nice for learning, because it forces you to stop and see what you can do in a given amount of time. It gives you like a baseline that you can kind of build from. And so you don't get stuck too much on being precious with one particular drawing. Having a time limit is nice. But having a deadline is nice. That helps too. I mean, it can be stressful, but it also can force you to get things done if you struggle with finishing things. Why'd you paint green? Sorry for my English. Green is a matrix. I like matrix. It kind of has like that greenish. All of it kind of has like that greenish tint to it. So I'm gonna have that. Having that down as the underpainting, all the colors I put on top of it are gonna have some of that green in it. What kind of brands of gouache do you use? This is Turner acrylic gouache. Turner acrylic gouache. Oh, oops. I think I'll start putting in some lights. But first, the fact that AI could create digital art, does it push you more into working traditional medium? I always kind of preferred traditional. But digital is nice. I like digital for like the exploration phase. But it definitely, yeah, it does. Yeah, I would say that's probably somewhat of a factor. But for that, I just always have been able to grasp traditional art a little bit better. And it's just a matter of, that's what I kind of spent the most time practicing. So that's what I kind of feel more comfortable with. But digital's still fun, even though AI can do it as well. It's fun to do. Like this, this is digital. This is just my sketch that I did, but I just took it into Procreate to kind of map out like the colors. What helps you to understand color theory? How do you know which colors you need to create skin color on top of the green? once I start putting, it's kind of like figuring it out as I go. Like once I have the green down and I start building the other colors on top of it, then each brushstroke that I put down helps me inform the next decision. The green is nice because it gives you, like, having the green down, once you start putting the skin tones on top of it, it instantly like desaturates them. It tones them down and tones down their saturation. So if you struggle with, like, if you ever paint it and you struggle with seeing your colors being like too saturated and they look kind of cartoony-ish, you might want to try adding some like cool colors to help balance out all the extra saturation. But yeah, the green is just it's some, if you look up, it's called Verdaccio painting, basically. It's a style of putting like a green base layer down and building on top of that to help the skin tone that you put on top of it pop out a little bit more. I didn't think it was possible for perfection to get better. Wow. Thank you. I'm gonna use this white to, like, it's not gonna stay pure white, but I'm just gonna map out like the bright highlights on the side of the face. Let's see what that looks like. That was actually kind of like, that doesn't really show up. Sorry, but can you say a technique term one more time? Yes, I'll put it in the chat. It's Verdaccio. Drop my pen. What do we do for creating this as a comic look? A comic look? A comic book? Or like a comic style? Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, check that out. It should be helpful just to Google search Verdaccio, and it's like the first result that comes up. A lot of people, it's a old painting technique that they've been using since like the Renaissance, like old Italian painters. Somebody that does it currently a lot is his name is like I'll type in the chat. I think it's ICOUNG Arts. I think that's how you say his name. But yeah, he does a lot of pastel work with like green undertones and stuff. 2 things I need to say. 1, obsessed with your style. Thank you. Your artwork is gorgeous and you have beautiful hair. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Have you ever heard of the artist named Bengus? He did the art for the Street Fighter Alpha games. Your style reminds me of his. No, I actually haven't heard of him. I'll check it out now. Bengus. BNGUS. Oh yeah, his style's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, thanks for the recommendation. Thank you for answering my question. I love your art. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just still part of the value study, just putting in these bright highlights. We'll see how it goes. I feel like I say that every painting, and it hopefully ends up turning out okay. I mean, it does help that I did like the color mock-up in digital. Congratulations, you have a great talent. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Bangus style is cool. It looks like does he use like Copic markers? From that one quick Google search, some of his stuff looked like it was either watercolor or markers. It's pretty cool. Who are some of your favorite modern artists, modern or throughout history? Modern, I like Andrew Hem. He does like a lot of murals and stuff in gouache. History, I like Norman Rockwell. I'm blanking on the name. Norman Rockwell. I'm trying to see if I can see the name of the art book from my bookshelf. I just grabbed it. Oh yeah, Robert McGinnis. This guy. I like his style a lot. I think he uses like a lot of egg tempera. I like the kind like the illustrators, like Golden Age illustrators. That's kind of my. What would you say is just your talent, or would you say that you develop your skill set to a point that your talent can shine brighter? To me, I think talent is just your natural interest and curiosity in something. I don't think your talent is your skill in that thing, because your interest and curiosity is what makes you practice and keep doing that thing, and that's where the actual skill comes from. It's just the repetition of doing something. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's just how I kind of think of it. Because I've been drawing since I was a kid, so that kind of helped with me being able to see like proportions and stuff. But when I didn't do it after a long time and tried to get back into it later, it took a while for me to kind of pick it back up. What was the question? But yeah, I think it's more of like a practice thing. Like the time spent doing that thing is what kind of helps you develop the skills in it. And I think the inherent thing is if you're just inherently interested in something, because you can develop interest in something, but like some people might be inherently just more interested in music, so they practice music longer. So that I would say that's their talent. The thing that whatever made them like music is the talent, not to being good at music itself. If that makes sense. What do you do to keep your creativity alive? I don't know. I was actually struggling to kind of be productive these last couple of weeks. But I was like, I've been kind of, because I had this drawing done, man, a couple of weeks ago, and I've been kind of putting off drawing it. And I had like another original thing that I was kind of working on. but something was just like, I need to just stop wasting time and just get to it. So I figured if I turn on the stream, that would actually help me to start painting just by streaming it. Because if I'm just here by myself, I would get distracted and start checking my phone or wasting time or whatever. But yeah, I figured out streaming it would just help me be. But I don't think I'm even answering the question. How do I keep your creativity alive? When I'm feeling stuck, I'll try to switch up mediums. I'll try to maybe do a plein air study, go to a figure drawing class, just something to switch up the routine, or maybe try out a different subject matter. So we're saying the same thing, and I love that because I agree, talent is your natural ability to do it, and skill is your practice and ability of what you have and perfected. Morning from New Zealand. Hey, good morning. It's afternoon here. How long does the sketch park typically take? It depends. If it's just like a photo study, if I'm just looking at a photo and directly drawing it, that probably takes like anywhere from 10 minutes to a half hour, depending on the level of complexity. If it's something like this where like I didn't look at like one specific reference. I kind of was trying to stitch like a bunch together. So I don't know how long this one took. Because it actually started off as this was the original, just a pencil sketch. Just a pen sketch. And then I scanned it into my computer, took it in Procreate, and then like did this mock-up, cleaned up the line work a little bit, and then practiced the colors. So yeah, it's much longer. That's a much longer process than if it was just like looking at where's my brush? I'm looking for a specific brush. Yeah, if I was just looking at a reference and just doing a study of it, then yeah, I would say that drawing only takes between 10 minutes and a half hour. Do you have any tips for understanding proportions? What helped me is trying to block them out into blocky shapes first. Because it's easy to measure the proportion of like a simple box versus like a complex shape with a bunch of curves and stuff. And then from there you can refine it as much as you want. In my case, I liked how the blockiness looked, so I just kind of kept it in the final product. But yeah, I would say for me at least, it's easier to measure with straight lines and boxes versus complex shapes. And then also using different reference points helps out a lot. Like on the face, I would like reference like the corner of the nose with the outside corner of the eyes and the corner of the lips, so that makes like a triangle. And then also using like negative space between shapes. So a bunch of tricks that I use to kind of to help with proportion. Always comparing 2 points and 2 shapes and objects and stuff. Perfect, thank you. I joined the class and returned to find it looking great. All right, thank you. Yeah, that kind of shows that like values, because this so far is basically just a value study mostly. Between your drawing and your value study, that kind of does most of the heavy lifting, and like the actual specific color you use is sort of the like icing on the cake. Can you explain how you choose your base colors? I mean, green Will green enhance your colors? Love from Egypt. Yeah, green in general is a lot of them. The main relationship that I look for is kind of complementary. That's kind of my go-to like comfort zone. I just pick like a complementary color. So like reds and complementary to skin tones. So when you think of skin tones, they're usually like reds and oranges and stuff. So the complements to those are greens and blues. So that's kind of my default. Like if I don't want to experiment with anything, then I'll just use like a cool like red or green base layer, so that whatever you put on top of it, it kind of gets toned down and helps you. What is this song? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, for this specific one, I know like the Matrix. This is like a Matrix fan art, and if you watch the movie, like whenever they're in the Matrix, it gives like this like greenish tint to everything. It's like a green filter for everything. So I just put that in there as the base color, so that when I put all the colors on top, it will have like a tint of green to it. So that was for this specific one, but I need a palette acrylic gouache. I want to see the palette, please. Yeah, this is these are the colors I have. Just Naples yellow, yellow ochre, black, burnt sienna, which I never use, burnt umber, ultramarine, turquoise. I want to say that Stato green, violet, magenta, orange, lemon, yellow, white. And then the palette, this is just this is a palette. This company, Redgrass, they sent me a palette. And it has like a little glass. It's basically, it's like a stay wet palette, but it has like glass in it, so that I like, when I use acrylic gouache, I like painting on top of glass, so that once it dries, I don't have to scrub it to clean it. All I have to do is just scrape it off. Will you save the live, please? Yeah, I'll save it. It will be saved on it will be on YouTube automatically. Instagram is tossed in the air sometimes, depending on the music in the background. Sometimes it might take down, like it might block it so people can't see it. But if it doesn't block it, then yeah, it will be up on Instagram as well. But it will definitely be on YouTube, because YouTube saves it automatically. Hey, how are you doing? I'm pretty good. How are you? Should we stick to RGB colors, or any color is good as a base color? Yeah, I experiment all the time. Like I'll use like yellows, or I'll use like purples and stuff like that. Just test things out, you know. You might come across something that you like. That's just my comfort zone. I just kind of, because I know what to expect when I use like greens and blues, because that's like my default comfort zone. But whenever I don't feel like doing that, I'll experiment and try other things. It's like no correct answer or anything. Part of that experimentation is kind of what will help you to find your quote unquote like style and your personal way of doing things, and find your color palette that you like to use. So always be open to trying out new things. And if something works for one person, it doesn't necessarily means it might not resonate with you the same way. So if you're curious about it, give it a shot, with no expectation. If you like it, keep it. If not, at least you tried it, you know. Man, Contas, thank you. This is so cool. Thank you. Love the coincidence that now watching the I love the coincidence now in watching Matrix. Love your content. Italy to USA. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was a continue. This is, I think I might, this was one of my favorite paintings from I did this year, was this Morpheus one. So I like, it's going to be Neo, and I might do some more characters from the Matrix in this series. But we'll see. I would, it was something that I kind of had in the background, like to-do list of things to possibly do. And I didn't have any ideas of anything else, so I figured I would just do it, because I've been kind of in a not really knowing what to paint, so I figured I'll just finish this up. But thank you. Are you using watercolor? No, this is acrylic gouache. It's just watered down, so it's watered down, so it resembles watercolor, but yeah, it's acrylic gouache. Do you think artificial intelligence will one day make traditional art obsolete? I don't think it will make digital art obsolete. I think people will always, it might, I mean, certain things, certain applications may become obsolete. Like anything where it's like anything that the main driving force is like profit above all else, then yeah, artificial intelligence is gonna be a threat to that, because if a company can cut costs by getting rid of all the humans workers, then they're gonna do that. But I feel like people, whether it's entertainment or something, I don't think people are really gonna connect that much with like purely AI stuff. Because even now, it's just something, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, Pinterest is completely overtaken by AI, but at least for me, I can like, even in the tiny thumbnail, you can like look at it and be like, oh, that's AI, like something about it. It always uses like that same like lighting or whatever. I don't know, it's something about it that just, you can kind of almost immediately tell it's AI, and something about it being AI just makes, at least for me, it's just like I don't really have an interest in it. But will it make traditional art obsolete? I don't think so. People are always gonna like stories and connecting with people, and that's what the whole point of art is. These highlights you're painting are really great. They add depth in the face. What's your favorite part of the painting process? My favorite part of the painting process is the stage where I'm like just putting color. Like I really enjoy building up the image in terms of like carving out shapes of blocks of color. That's my favorite thing about art in general, is just blocking in colors and seeing how they layer on top of each other and interact together. I could do that pretty much all day. Your voice, wow, I love it. Thank you. Awesome, dude. Can we get a quick tour of your artworks? My artworks. What, in this book? I can show you some artwork in this book. Yeah, this is just a photo study. This was, I felt I was in the mood to draw some herons, different types of herons. This is a great blue heron, a Goliath heron, and then just a random portrait for some reason. Photo study. These are acrylic gouache. These are all acrylic gouache so far. That first one was regular gouache. This one, couple more regular gouaches. This one, I was just experimenting with some colors, throwing them down. This one, ink sketch, gouache, matrix. Couple thumbnails. I might do something with this, but I might not. I don't know yet. This is the eye for like a demo. And then this one. And then this one. So yeah, that's about it. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite journal there? Do you have a favorite journal that you are working in? Probably this one. This is mixed media. I like that it's thick paper that I can paint on top of. What type of paper do you use that it doesn't wear down while painting? This is Stratford Tone Tan mixed media, and it's nice because it's a thicker paper, so it can withstand wet media, which is pretty much my favorite to use. I want to say your stream is helping me while I work on something I've been stuck on for a week. Nice. Yeah, this stream same is helping me because I was like, I couldn't focus when I was just trying to paint by myself, but I figured if I put it on stream, it will force me to kind of be on task. So I can think of it kind of as like a group study session, I guess. Is acrylic easier to use? And what is like the mark or something? Because I am. Is acrylic easier to use? Also, what is like the mark or something? Because I am. Kind of interested in using it. It's easier for certain things. So if you like to layer in your process and you don't want to worry about like constantly disturbing the paint that you already put down, then acrylic might be easier. But if you like blending and you like to put it down and come back to it and still have your colors be reactivatable, then acrylic gouache might be a little bit annoying. So it kind of it depends on your personal preference, like what you're going for. How long did you take to grow your following as an artist on Insta? I started my account towards the end of September 2017, so what's that? 7 years now. I would say in the first year, it was like 100 posts before I got to like, or it was like 60 posts before I got to 100 followers. So, because in the early days, you're just throwing stuff. Like these days, it's way different now. I wasn't on Instagram when it was chronological, so I don't know how that was. Like by the time I joined it already wasn't chronological, so I'm not really sure. But these days, the stuff that my page grew off of is kind of different now. Like reels and stuff are kind of the thing now. AI painting looks more restrictive. It doesn't have much creativity. Yeah, I would say so. Exactly. Also, I feel like it doesn't leave the special signature that the artist leaves. There is not that much of emotions to feel, so. The eye, Lord have mercy. Great art. I've painted portraits with gouache. Your style is great. Thank you. Wow, amazing stream visit. Thank you. Hi, JMR. Love your process. Hug from Brazil. Thank you. I'm way behind. Okay. I am. I feel like I was talking about something, but didn't finish what I was talking about. These highlights here. Only thing about daylight savings time is now it starts getting like really dark early because it's only 4 o'clock. The sun's starting to go down. Hi, I love how you draw. Thank you. JMR. What does JMR stand for? It's my initials. My initials. I was very creative when it came to my name. I was just like, I just picked my initials for my username and then put art at the end of it. You still balling? Now, man, I don't really ball that often. It's been a while. Basically, since COVID, I haven't really played regularly anymore. I try to exercise, like now running and like calisthenics are my exercise, but yeah, I don't really play basketball that much anymore. Sometimes I think about, oh, what if he draws me? But you know, I am an artist too. I hate when someone says that to me. Yeah, I mean, I just did the thing where I would draw a hashtag where I drew a couple people. I drew like four people. I might do it again. Oh, that was pretty fun. It's always fun because it's like slightly, sometimes Pinterest references get like boring. You want to switch it up every once in a while. Too bad I'm having fun doing rec leagues. Yeah, I gotta get back into it. Don't want to lose athletic ability. Whatever athletic ability I had, at least. Curious, what state do you live in? I'm in Rhode Island right now. Rhode Island. Alright, I'm gonna start in the practice colors. I didn't finish rendering the hand. I don't know. I didn't feel like finishing the hand. I figure I'm gonna just figure it out as I paint, but alright. So I need some space on my palette to start mixing up some skin tones. Suggest some music that inspires you to draw or while drawing. Like the music I'm playing right now is just it's like lo-fi beats, because it does by not having like explicit clear lyrics or anything, it's just like kind of background noise. And I mean, for streaming purposes, it tend not to bother you about copyright. So that's a nice reason to use it. But yeah, it really depends on the mood. the task that I'm doing, the mood that I'm in. Sometimes it might be music. Sometimes I might have like a show streaming in the background. Most preferably like a show that either I've seen before. So like I don't need to. It doesn't need to have my full attention. Or like a documentary or something like that. I've been watching Dexter. I've been just having Dexter on in the background as I'm painting. I never watched it before, but you know, like I'll have it on the monitor, and every once in a while I'll just look over and see what's going on. Like stuff like that where it's like a long show. It's kind of nice. Do you thin the gouache down? Yeah, it's thinned down. It's being diluted with water. And as I build the painting up, then I will use less and less water to get more opacity. I got an interview view, but I'll tap in after. Nice. Thanks for stopping in. Have you ever drawn pro wrestlers? WWE had a painter named Rob Schamberger who did portraits for the wrestlers. No, I haven't painted any wrestlers. I actually growing up, I never actually really got into wrestling like that. Yeah, I don't know why I never got into wrestling. Growing up, I was more into I like comics and cartoons and stuff when I was growing up. Right now, I'm just kind of glazing over the skin color, just putting it over the green, and it kind of is tinting the color. And it's just a mix of like yellow, some magenta. I love your art. Do you like to use other mediums to create art with? Yeah, like this reference that I'm looking at, this is a painting that I did in Procreate, which is digital. And then I like using watercolor. I like using gouache, acrylic gouache. Before the year is out, or before next year, I want to try oils. I've been saying that I was gonna try it for the longest and have been procrastinating. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try oil painting out. What is easier for you to draw, man or woman? I think they're kind of equally. I would say kids are harder to draw for me because this angular style that I have, it lends itself more to like adults, but like because kids have like rounder features and stuff, so it's a bit tricky to kind of to have it read as like a younger face when it's like angular shapes and stuff. So between man or woman, I don't really find too much of a difference. But I would say it's more so age. Also, what do you do to get out of a creative funk? I haven't made art in over a year due to life and stress. If you just pick up trying to get back into art, when you're trying to get back into art, one thing that helps is just keeping it light and like low pressure. Like when I was trying to get back into art, I just set for a week. Said that for 1 week I would draw whatever subject matter. So, and it only had to be as little as 30 minutes. So I started off just by drawing like animals and stuff. Every day I would just have to draw one picture, at least one picture of an animal. And it didn't have to be good or anything, just as long as you did it for that day. And then from there, that kind of gives you like starts to build your momentum up, and then as you're building your momentum, then you can just add more and more until you're back in the swing of things. I don't know why I pick animals. Probably because they're a little easier to draw. They're not quite as like portraits are kind of hard, tricky. But picking something simple that you can stick with for enough time to start building up your momentum again can be helpful. Looks more like a Matrix villain, but with comb hair. Yeah, we'll see. Like the Agent Smith. Yeah, the likeness. We'll see if I can put it together. The angle of the head was based on this photo, and then I like the lighting from these two. This one here and this one here. But I didn't. I think the painting. Yeah, I might be able to adjust things in the painting, but for the digital mock-up, that's just to quickly get an idea of where the colors are gonna go, but not necessarily be the final piece. But he does look more like a villain. I'm gonna eat your art. It probably wouldn't taste good. Yeah, I never tried this acrylic gouache, but I don't know. I don't think I'd recommend it. It looks like Neo. It's supposed to be, so hopefully it's a good thing. For like professional wrestling, WWE and stuff. As a kid, did you guys know that was fake? Or it was just maybe that's why I never got into it, because I just always knew it was fake. But maybe that's part of the appeal. I don't know. Like I don't think these days anybody actually still thinks it's real. Yes, that's why I hated it. Yeah, I was told it was fake at a young age. Yeah, me too. No, WWE is not fake. Undertaker actually woke up from the dead. Yeah. Same with Santa. Those bubbles would burst real fast, and you didn't get to believe. What about the Tooth Fairy? Yeah, same here though. Yeah, we didn't have any of that. any of the superstitions. Trying to think of a superstition I actually did believe in. I met and saw John Cena before. He was real nice. That's pretty cool. You should watch AEW wrestling. That's the new one? Did that overtake WWE in like popularity? I'm trying to make this ear like really saturated to show like that the light is shining through it. Tooth Fairy, not so much. I was just told if I lost my teeth, I would get money. Now I am superstitious. You're superstitious now as an adult. What are you superstitious about? Oh, I to this day I don't like. I avoid like cracks in the sidewalk. I don't like to step on cracks. How did you create the 2-camera setup? I'm streaming on desktop using Procreate. So this camera, I have this camera up here, and then this is a webcam. This is a webcam, and then this is another webcam. And then you can input all these overlays and stuff if you stream from your desktop. I'm using an app called Streamlabs, and from there you can have like a bunch of different sources that you can arrange into a scene. I split the pole every time I can, and my friends can't stand it. You're just an agent of chaos. Some people just want to see the world burn. Among all the Keanu Reeves roles he did in his career, which one would you like most? Great painting, by the way. Thank you. I would probably say Matrix. Definitely Matrix. John Wick is pretty cool, though. But yeah, Matrix as a kid, that was like... Yeah, I know. It wasn't until I was older that I realized people didn't like the second, like the sequels to the Matrix, but those were like my favorite ones. I like the second one the best, like the highway chase scene and all that stuff. But to me, I was just anything that had action in it was what I liked. I don't split poles, buy people's shoes. I don't split poles, buy people's shoes or watches, or spill salt. Wait, what's the buy shoes one? I don't know that one. You don't buy people's shoes or watches? I don't think I've heard of that one. I've heard the salt one. I've heard the split poles. Nice, thanks. John Wick. If you buy people's shoes, they walk out of your life. That's hilarious. That's funny. I guess that makes sense. That's kind of messed up, though. Some wrestlers are artists too. Wait, AEW isn't as big as WWE, but the wrestling style is much better. Some wrestlers are artists too. Jerry the King Lawler is a great artist. That's cool. What's like the difference when you say like the wrestling style is better? What like they do more tricks and stuff, like more acrobatics. For watches, your time will come to an end. Yeah, they're all negative. I guess that makes sense though. That's funny. Regarding relationships, how long have you been painting this portrait so far? I've been streaming. I started in the stream, and it says it's been hour and 25 minutes. Almost an hour and a half. But the pencil sketch was already done. That's just painting. The pencil sketch I had. I mean, the pencil sketch I did it on a separate piece of paper, and then traced it onto my paper so that I wouldn't have to redraw it. This is the original. The original was just a ballpoint pen sketch, and then I printed it out and traced it. Because you can I've resized it so that it will fit this notebook. How are you able to have dual camera shots? I'm streaming from a desktop from something called Streamlabs. Wow, it looks amazing, like a 30-hour work. Thank you. But yeah, it was a lot of background work that I did before I started streaming. So the purely painting part that you've seen here, where it's like just the paint, that's been an hour and a half. But it was a lot of stuff before that. But thank you. Thanks for the info. No problem. Trying to get some cool colors to make it look like beard hair. Like not beard hair, like a shaved hair look. It kind of has like, it's not like a pronounced, it's very faint, but it's like low buzz, like shaven hair. It makes the skin kind of have like a green tint to it almost. Shadow, are you self-taught or you went to school for art? I'm not formally trained in art. It's like semantics, but I usually don't say self-taught because I think everybody is self-taught, even if you go to art school. But yeah, I didn't go to art school. think I made that green come up a bit too high. I'm an artist as well, but I only stick to acrylic paint. Watercolor seems so uncontrollable. It can be. It can definitely be pretty, that's one of the nice things about it. And one of the tough things about it at the same time. Like, you have to be comfortable with, like, directing the paint, but letting it do what it's gonna do at the same time. But it gives it like a more spontaneous, like freer, spontaneous kind of look to it, very compared to other more controlled mediums. Watercolor is fun. Gonna add another layer to darken the black clothes. What are the other superstitions out there? I think walking under a ladder, that's one of them. Like, you're not supposed to walk under ladders. I think that's like more for common sense though. Like, I feel like a lot of the superstitions were like common sense, like stuff that you don't want to do because it's obvious that something could go wrong. It was fun watching your live stream. Got some really cool tips from you, JMR. Thanks. Gotta go to sleep now. I've been following your work. It's almost 3 a.m. here. Best wishes from India. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Get some rest. And yeah, thanks for stopping in. What is your preferred method of painting? I like building up the painting in layers using different blocks of color. That's my favorite way to paint for sure. I like seeing unexpected color mixes, seeing how I can like kind of piece them together. See how they fit, how I can make them fit in context. And it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. That's my favorite part about it. But yeah, color blocking and working in layers is my favorite way to paint. I meant medium, but that's pretty cool. I never thought of it that way. Oh, favorite medium? My favorite medium. I would say it was between watercolor and gouache, and acrylic gouache. I would say between those three. Definitely those three. How you guys doing on YouTube? Have you ever used oil paints? No, I haven't, but that's on the to-do list. I'm gonna, before this year is over, I gotta paint with the oil paint. How is gouache application different from watercolor? Gouache, you can go from, the main difference is the opacity you're able to achieve. And with opacity means you can work from light to dark or dark to light. Watercolor, you can't paint dark color. You can't paint dark colors over light colors. I mean, you can't paint light colors over dark colors. Because any light in the watercolor painting will come from the white of the paper. So once the white of the paper is gone, that's it. But that's not the case with gouache. Gouache, you can think of it, you can paint with it almost like you would with acrylic paint. Or if you water it down, you can use it like watercolor as well. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. It's only 4:23. It's dark outside. It's starting to get dark outside already. That's the only thing about winter, man. The daylight doesn't last long at all. How do you use geometric shapes in your painting while keeping them look smooth? I really like your style, by the way. Thank you. How do I use geometric shapes? If it's like a curve, I'll like, instead of drawing the curve, I'll break it up into like 2 angles or something like that. Like, so this ear, I was using this reference. So this is the drawing I made. This is one of the main references I use for like the shape of it. But like in the ear, in the reference, it's just like a straight curve here. But I broke it up into, in my drawing, I have like, let's see if I can draw. Yeah. In the drawing, instead of just trying to make this curve, I'll just make it straight here. Make it straight there. Basically, however I can break it up into. When I'm seeing curves, I'm just like basically simplifying them, and that helps me measure. But if everything is just completely blocky, then it kind of, it's nice to have a balance. Like while so like big shapes I'll keep in like the big, I'm trying to think of, like I try to, I don't know what the exact ratio is, but I try to keep like a balance of leaving some of the pure geometric shape in, but also throwing a tiny bit of curves in. It's hard to say like an exact formula or ratio. I've been worried about using oil paints, but someday I'm gonna give it a try. Yeah, me too. Me too. That's literally the story of my life, but I'm going to do it before the year is over. Finally, just grab some, even if it's only a few colors, just to test it out. Because I've been saying I would do oil paints for the longest, and just never did it yet. But at some point, you just gotta do it, and it might become my favorite. That's what happened to me with gouache. Like when I got gouache as like a Christmas present, and it sat in the corner of my art room for like until that summer after Christmas, and finally I was just like, all right, I'm just trying it out. And then once I tried it, after a couple paintings, I got hooked on it, and it became one of my favorite mediums. So the same thing might happen with oil, or it might not, but gotta try it. But yeah, I feel you though. I'm definitely I'm in the same boat. Definitely in the same boat. All good here. The painting has progressed so nicely. How is it working on the mechanical aspects of the gun? Your sketch was in pen, right? Yeah, the initial sketch was in pen, but so this is the initial one. And the gun, like, your lines aren't, these are just as straight as I could get them free-handed. So some of them are decently straight, but a lot of them are not the greatest. But I cleaned them up. I cleaned all the lines up in digital, so the gun lines digitally were a bit more straight, because you can use like the straight tool. This is the digital, after cleaning it up digital. So yeah, I was able to make those lines straight. And in order to transfer it from here to here, I just shaded the back of it with graphite, and then if you trace over the lines, then you transfer your sketch. So this is that. But in terms of how I'm gonna get the straight lines when I'm painting, I have this ruler here. This ruler is pretty cool because it has like a groove in it. So what you can do is if you take a brush and it comes with like this rod, but you can use anything if I can find it. But you can take this brush. You can take your brush that you want to draw the straight line with, and take your other brush, and if you hold it like this, then it gives you like a nice straight line. So like I can show you an example for one. So say I want to put like a straight line there. I'll just take this. And I got this. I saw it was like a Japanese painter. He was painting with like poster color, and he had one of these. And it took me the longest to find. Like I couldn't find what it was called, but I ended up stumbling on it from. Cause I just saw it in like a reel, and like it didn't have like the what it was called listed anywhere. But I eventually found it on this website called AliExpress. Where I think AliExpress, I don't know where it's based in, but I want to say China, but I'm not sure. But basically, yeah, I was able to find it there. But yeah, you see how you can just get straight lines with this. That's how you can get like nice straight painting lines. So I'm probably going to end up doing that for a lot of these. Yeah, I don't know if are those lines showing up? And as far as like the mechanical aspects, like a lot of it is I mean, I have this reference here of this type of gun. I think it's a I don't know. I'm not a gun expert. I think it's an MP9 or something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna use these references to try to. The main thing to make it sellable is gonna be like having just enough rim light on, like just enough of these highlights on, like, I don't know. I have to figure out how I'm gonna try to render that, but yeah. Do you, other than portraits, do you enjoy painting other subjects? Yeah, I like painting birds. I like painting shoes. I like painting like plein air painting, like landscapes, but from life, like painting outside in plein air. That's always really fun. What else? Yeah. Construction vehicles. Does gouache dry as rapidly as acrylics? Do you add a slow dry medium to your gouache? It dries about the same rate. Regular gouache is fine because if you just add more water, then it will reactivate. I'm using acrylic gouache, so it's basically dries the same as acrylic, and it doesn't reactivate. So I keep this water bottle that I'm constantly spraying my palette to keep it wet. But no, I don't use any kind of slow dry medium. I just use water. Any dilution I use is just water. The details and research people don't see. Great painting, brother. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of it's fun. I like every once in a while. It's fun to try to make like your own kind of painting, not a direct study from like one reference. Try to like assemble something or come up with something on your own. It always takes a bit longer, but it's always pretty fun. What was I doing? I was darkening the shirt. Gonna make it black so that everything else. You're welcome. Have a good session. Thank you. Thank you. Looking good. Thank you. Thank you. How long do you go live? It's been about an hour and 45 minutes now. I'll probably paint, I don't know, maybe two hours. I'll probably go for, I don't know, maybe another half hour, another hour. Might pick it up again. I don't think I'll finish it today. I don't think I'll finish this whole thing today. I think I'm gonna put in the background. I was just throwing ideas. This is kind of the background I kind of was playing around with digitally. And it's kind of like the lobby from that first movie. This lobby here. Thinking about it. But I'm not sure yet. I might just have it just a plain white background. I think I might do I kind of like that. Cause I want to have like a lot of green in the image. But yeah, I'm not sure yet. I'll be watching the replay. I'll be watching the replay. Missed the answer to my question. Well, what was your question? I couldn't just answer it right now. My husband phone and the stream sound went away. That's funny. But yeah, I don't remember what your question was, but if you, I can't answer it again if you. The one. Oh, about reactivating gouache with water instead of slow dry. Yeah, I just I just use water with gouache. I just reactivate it with water. With acrylic gouache, same thing. I just use water, but you have to kind of keep it wet to try. Like I just use a spray bottle to keep spraying it so that it doesn't completely dry out. And if it does dry out, then I'll just scrape it off. I just have like this paint scraper that I'll just scrape it off with. You and I have the same hair. Nice. You have an amazing talent. Love your work. Thank you. Helpful, thank you. Thanks, helpful info. Thank you. I haven't touched his hand yet. And I didn't take the time to figure out how I wanted the hand lighting to be in the reference. Maybe I'll use like this hand or something. Try to extrapolate. But yeah, it's fun like kind of combining references and trying to figure things out. Any of you guys working on anything? What kind of stuff we got going on? Been following since COVID. You're so talented. Thank you. COVID seems like a long time ago and not a long time ago at the same time. It's like a really weird time in history. Skull drawing on Procreate, nice. Are all your paintings from reference? Do you ever freestyle some characters? A lot of them are, but like this one was one where I just was like, I didn't use any like direct reference. I just kind of started scribbling, and this was like no reference for this one. That was pretty cool. But when it's just like a portrait study, a lot No, for real, everybody was locked in the house. Yeah, it was a weird time. Strange time. That's crazy. That was 4 years ago, 2020, when that happened. I mean, and it kept, like, it wasn't just instant, but I know when it first happened, that was scary because, like, nobody knew what was going on. Thank you. But yeah, a lot of my no reference stuff is more like little doodles and scribbles and stuff. Any kind of long painting, I typically try to find a reference for it. Even if it's not like a direct reference. But like maybe I'll have to think about like how does something specific look at a specific angle or lighting. Yeah. A lot of that green base layer is still showing through. In some areas, I like it. I'm working on my version of Beast Boy from Teen Titans as a black guy. Nice. What is Beast Boy like, ethnicity wise? Is he like? I'm not sure. I'm working on my watercolor portrait at your stream and in my procrastination phase. Thanks. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm glad. Same here. I figured if I streamed it would force me to like work because it was like. I mean, I did just drawing. Like the drawing was done like weeks ago, probably back in like summer. But I was just like putting off. Finally, like getting around to painting it. So I figured if I stream it, it would at least help me get started. So yeah, I'm glad it's helping you too. And he was green, but in my imagination it says he's African because of the safari animals he turned to. That's funny. I wonder if Green character, like, what wasn't Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z? People like say he's black. The motivation of having people watching you kind of forces you to do what you gotta do. Yeah. Beast Boy was born and raised in Brazil. Beast Boy is Brazilian? Okay. Wait, there's a what's that artist? He does all the Teen Titan. Gabriel. Was it Gabriel art? He does like all the Beast Boy drawings and Teen Titan drawings. I think he's Brazilian. Amazing work. Oh my god. Thank you. I'm putting the background. Amazing work. Oh my. That's funny. I didn't know Beast Boy was Brazilian. Maybe something like that for the background. This one looked really similar to some Deathloop posters. Deathloop. I mean, check that out. Deathloop. Deathloop poster. Oh, okay. It's like spies and stuff. That's pretty cool. Nice. Good game, by the way. Straight Googled it. How much do you paint for yourself? How much for customers? Maybe it helps to increase the volume of fun artworks to stay more motivated. Do you have thoughts about this? Yeah, it varies. Like, it depends. Commissions that it's like sporadic. Sometimes it's a bunch. Sometimes it's a stretch of none, or sometimes it's a stretch of a different type of commission. Like, I have something that should be coming out by the end of the year, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's just it kind of varies. I don't know if I want this to. I like how in the reference, like in my drawing, I like how it's a little bit of space between the pillar and the background and the gun, because it helps like silhouette the shape off. But I don't know if I want it to be like right in the gutter of the page. Maybe I'll just put it over just a tiny bit. Maybe like that. We'll see. Oh yeah, painting for myself. Have I had thought? Yeah, that's the one thing that I struggle with sometimes, because sometimes it's like that's the only thing about trying to make a living from art. It's kind of sometimes it can be hard to just paint stuff for yourself, because it's like if it's not directly immediately making money, it's like I never felt any of that kind of stress before, when it was just painting whatever I wanted whenever I wanted for fun. But that's a consideration. But it's important to do so, because it kind of helps you not burn out, helps you still having fun with what you're doing. So it is important to do. Good game, by the way. Regarding Deathloop, I haven't played it. It looks pretty cool though. It looks pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, Deathloop. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I have to check that out. Talking about something, but I don't remember what it was. I want this pillar to kind of be like gray, but like kind of fading, like a greenish gray color that's like fading into the background, so it stands out from the black jacket. Oh, I just realized I didn't even paint that ear yet. It's still, I didn't even paint this ear in the digital mock-up. For the background, what to do? I'll do some of the really light color, and then I'll be able to just carve into that with the dark colors around it. I think that's how I'll handle the background. I'm putting it in early so that I can judge all the values of the painting a little bit better. Wow, it's about to be 5 and it's like pitch black outside. That's besides the cold, that's the thing I don't like about the winter. So I love how long the days are in summertime and the temperature in general, but Six Style, man, thank you. Winter is real, yeah. It's not even 5 o'clock yet. It's like it's pitch black outside. Six Style, man, thank you. Do you create your own brushes when you use Procreate? I didn't create my own brush from scratch, but I use the modified versions of the default brushes. So like the main brush that I use is the default flat brush, but I modify it so that the orientation doesn't change, so it just stays a square shape no matter how you turn the pen, but it will stay oriented to the screen. So I do that modification, and then I just squish it so that it's not a rectangle, it's a square. But yeah, that's kind of I use the default brushes with some minor tweaks, but I haven't created my own brushes or anything. What helped me with Procreate was just simplifying it as much as possible, so that I'm not jumping between a bunch of layers or between a bunch of brushes or a bunch of options. Because the amount of options of digital versus traditional is just so many options. It was overwhelming to learn, but when I just simplified it, so that I'm using as few layers as possible and as few brushes as possible, that helped me to at least keep working, so that I would get used to learning the software, and then from there you can build in complexity. But just to start out, I had to simplify so that I would stick with it enough to learn it. Even same thing with colors, like you have infinite amount of colors, but I searched up the hex codes. Like each color has it's something called a hex code, and if you type that into Procreate, it will show you on the color wheel like where that color is. So I just made a palette of the paints that I actually use in real life as like a starting place to know like where on the palette I should go to grab like the specific colors I would mix in real life. And that kind of gave me an idea how, because I don't color pick like from a picture when I'm painting. I like to try to mix the same way I would with paint traditionally. So that's another thing that helped me out. Just basically recreating my digital palette, my palette, digitally. Where are you streaming from? It's not dark in ATL yet. I'm in Rhode Island, New England, so up north. Yeah, I think the higher north you go in the winter time, the shorter the days are. But yeah, here it's like it's literally pitch black. It's like straight dark outside. When I first started, it was like basically daytime, and I've only been streaming for, it's been about 2 hours now, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Bravo, thank you. Good, no. Yeah, I'm just putting, I guess it's kind of off the camera, but yeah, I'm just putting in this background. Just a light blue color, cause in my reference, then I'm gonna carve into it with different shapes. But, yeah. That background is hopefully helping the portrait to start to stand out a little bit more. But yeah, so what the making gradients is a challenge of acrylic wash, because you gotta make sure you do it while the paint is still wet. Once it dries, it's hard to blend and manipulate the paint. So any kind of gradients you want to make, hey, how's it going? Another challenge with gouache and acrylic gouache is as you build up your painting, you can start to lose track of like your initial drawing. So like as I'm building along, I try not to lose track of my initial like roadmap that I made with the drawing. Pleasure to see you work, man. I got math course in the morning. Catch you next time. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, thank you. It was fun. I'm about to keep going for a little bit longer. Good brush. Thank you. But yeah, yeah, thanks for hanging out. And good luck with your math course. I was gonna say with your math test. What's your zodiac sign? It has to be water sign. I don't know what water sign is, but I think I'm in the beginning of October. I think what's that? A Libra? I think I'm a Libra. Good work, man. Thank you. One of the streams from before, when somebody asked me about like the Libra signs, and I was saying like how I don't really believe in all that stuff, and they were saying like I looked up like the attributes of Libras and stuff, and like a lot of that stuff was actually kind of accurate. I was like, there might be something to it. I'm still not convinced though. God bless your hands. Thank you. I'm still. It's like something called the Barnum effect, where things like horoscopes and fortunes and stuff like that, a lot of that it's just vague enough that it feels like it's specific to you, but it actually applies to like a large range of people, so it doesn't really mean. Water is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. What's a Libra? What? So it's elements. It's like airbenders, earthbend. It's what? It's like Avatar. Libra is air, so I'm an airbender. Libra is an air sign. Nice. So the trick here is now I gotta make sure I don't lose the hair to the background. And bro, another masterpiece. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see. The trick now is going to be to try to make things start to stand out. Right now it's kind of like a soup of not really well defined values. Hopefully we'll fix that. I'm gonna add like a little sliver of a light color so that I can not lose track of the hair. And hopefully make it stand out from the background. I don't know how traditional artists mix colors. As a digital artist, I just go to my color wheel and pick one. It's the same thing, except my color wheel is just these colors, and then you'll just have to mix. You have to mix what you want from there. Which, to be honest, at least when learning, it's actually easier to learn with a more limited palette versus too many options. With a limited palette, you learn how to you really learn how to mix colors, and you learn how to work within the restraints of fewer options. And that helps you to have a better grasp of how to kind of work with what you have instead of having like a ton of that white really helps to, that rim light really helps to reinforce the silhouette that I started to lose with the after putting the background down. It was nice. Acrylic or gouache? This is acrylic gouache. That looks really cool. Thank you. The air really pops now. Yeah, adding that white really brought it forward from the background, because before it was kind of like, it was starting to kind of fade into the background a little bit. Yeah, with painting, sometimes it's like you add like one little adjustment and it like kind of makes everything kind of fall into place. Or the opposite can be true, like one adjustment and it makes it look completely, like makes it fall apart. So it's always like a roller coaster painting. At least the way I like to paint. If it was like just a paint by number, like formulaic way of painting, I think I would have stopped painting a while ago. I kind of like the I have a general idea of how things are gonna go, but I like having a little bit of unpredictability. It keeps it a bit more interesting. So like pre-mixed color formulas and stuff. That's why I like throwing down a random color. Well, not necessarily a random color, but like having weird base colors, because I have to build on top of it and try to kind of tie everything together. Keeps it fun. Is the undercolor just watery acrylic? Yeah, everything is just acrylic wash. So far, it's all just been acrylic wash to varying degrees of dilution. So typically, the early stages, the paint is much more dilute, and then as I build up the painting, I'll build up the opacity at the same time, concurrently. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Same medium, different amounts of water added to the paint. It's actually coming together at this point. At some point, it might start falling apart. Complete this tomorrow. Go to sleep now. Yeah, it's only 5 o'clock here. Although it's like pitch black, it's only 5 o'clock. It's crazy. Just last week, it felt like it would get dark at least 6. I mean, daylight savings obviously is responsible for that. Because 2 days ago it would have been 6 right now. But I thought, was it just me? I feel like, didn't they say during COVID, I want to say they were planning to get rid of daylight savings? That was a thing, right? Or no? If I can remember that. I guess it just never happened, and daylight savings is here to stay for now, at least. Amazing, thank you. Are you a fine arts graduate? No. No for didn't go to school for art. It got stalled in Congress. Okay. I wonder why. Although, like, I don't like how it gets like dark so early, but I do like getting that extra hour of sleep. That's always nice. But the trade-off is that now it's only 5 o'clock and it's like pitch black, basically. Congress is still debating time trains, bro. That's awesome. Thank you. I love this movie. Thank you. Yeah, but it's not about to happen. It's too rooted. What type of paper do you use? This is Strathmore Tone Tan mixed media paper. Yeah. I think the initial purpose of daylight savings is, I don't remember. I think it has something to do with like people working on farms and stuff. I don't know the exact roots of it, but I think it's a relic of like a past time. Bro, it's cooking. Thank you. I adore your style, thank you. Is this for commission work or personal? This is just personal. It's continuing this Matrix series. Like I did the Morpheus piece earlier in the year, and I figure I'll do a Neo one, and I'll probably do a Trinity one, and then go from there. Maybe a couple other characters. I really like how this one came out. I like those two from the second Matrix movie. I like the two like ghosts, the dreadhead guys that could turn into like the ghosts. I might draw them. I think that would be kind of cool. Amazing, by the way, love it. Thank you. That would be cool to do more like character commissions. A lot of my commissions are like people's like people commissions of actual people. They have a commission for like a food company that should be coming out soon, which is kind of fun, painting like food menu, like food items. Why are you drawing Matrix characters? For fun. No particular reason. I like the movie. I started it like I started painting it before I knew about like the fourth movie that was coming out, and then when the fourth movie came out, it was like real disappointing. So I kind of like dropped the series. I didn't finish painting it, and then I kind of got back into it after watching the movie. Again, I was act like the fourth one didn't happen. What kind of camera setup is this, bro? So cool. Yeah, so thank you. And this is a camera, so this is, I want to say it's a Sony A6300 up there. The selfie cam, this is a webcam, it's a Logitech Brio. And then I have this camera right here, which is looking over my palette. It's another webcam. So that's this camera down here. So it's three cameras. And then they're all being fed into my desktop through an app called Streamlabs. Greetings, I've been following your work for a long time. I love your paint style. Thank you. This is a good idea, because I was procrastinating on starting this painting, and by streaming it just forced me to have to just get to it. I made pretty good progress. When I'm not like painting in person or streaming or anything like that, it's super easy for me to get distracted. Bro, I want to paint like you so bad. Thank you. You'll see once you you know, you'll be surprised. You'll find like a painting style that works for you and like you'll really enjoy. But definitely take other people as inspiration and piecing everything that you like together. Before you know it, you'll have like your own unique way of doing the things that people will call your style. So I'll say like painting like this was never something I intentionally set out to do. It's just a combination of like the experience that I did just painting a lot kind of showed some tendencies that I actually liked and wanted to keep in my art. I would intentionally do so, and stuff that I didn't like I would try to work on to improve. One of the things, like my early work, my eyebrows that I used to draw used to be like super thick and I didn't even realize it until like looking back on old stuff, and I was like, wow, they're like bro made me start drawing too. Nice. Even though it's 3:20 a.m. here, I can watch this all night. Nah, you gotta go to sleep. Definitely gotta go to sleep. I usually paint later. When I do these streams, they're usually, at least in the past, have usually been like later at night. This time I started a bit earlier in the day, just because I wanted to just start painting, not procrastinate. I'll go until the stream is 3 hours, and then I'm gonna wrap it up and probably pick it up tomorrow. So I got about 20 more minutes. I'll go for like 20 more minutes. See how far I can get. I'll try to pick it back up tomorrow. Neo. I've been procrastinating on doing the gun, doing the hand. Do you have tutorials on YouTube? Yeah, I have some videos up there. I have some videos. Most of my older ones were tutorial type of videos. After I finish a face, I get bored with the rest. Yeah, it happens to me sometimes too. A lot of stuff, a lot of stuff I won't even do a background. It'll just be like a plain background, maybe like a solid color or something. But nah, I definitely relate. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, thank you. Some of these references are super blurry. I actually like working from blurry references because it leaves like a lot of the interpretation up to you, and that's one way you can develop your style, by not trying to copy exactly what you're seeing. That's what made me think portraits would probably be my style. Yeah, that's what happened to me in the beginning. I started off testing a bunch of stuff, but I gravitated towards portraits, so I kind of stuck with it. And then after a while, I wanted to try something else, but portraits still were my go-to favorite thing to paint. But in the beginning, it's important just to pick something that you enjoy doing enough to keep something you enjoy doing enough to stick with. Are you using gouache and gouache colors or watercolor? This is acrylic gouache. Thank you, no problem. No problem. I'm really tired. Love your style. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy your contrast. Thank you. You know, doing these live streams and posting art videos and stuff like that makes it so that I don't really mind people like watching me work. It's actually doesn't bother me, cause I had like a watercolor workshop it was this past weekend, like an in-person one. You know, actually really fun. Just kind of trying to talk and explain what you're doing, and like when it comes to like regular public speaking and like all throughout school, whenever it was doing presentations and stuff, I always hated it, but that was actually pretty cool. How did you choose your base color, whether it's green or blue? The closest blue tends to be like my favorite one, especially for darker skin tones, because it complements like the brown, like the oranges and browns in the skins. Green is nice as well. For this one I went with green just so it has kind of like, you know how the Matrix kind of has like that greenish tint to it. Like all of these reference photos, it all kind of has like a greenish tint to it. So I wanted a green base so that all the colors I paint on top of it will have kind of that greenish tint as well. So that's kind of the reason for this one specifically. kind of show the illusion of like how this, like the 5 o'clock shadow, how it's like kind of greenish around the chin. That's the effect I'm trying to get to varying degrees of success at the moment. I think it's a little too light. How long have you been working on this piece? Just joined? It's been, the stream has been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes. But that's just painting, like the drawing and stuff. And the cut, like the drawing was done ahead of time. This digital mock-up of the colors was done ahead of time, so I have an idea of where I'm gonna go with the colors. I'm not just, so that all that was stuff that was time that happened before the stream, but the actual painting with physical paint so far has been 2 hours and almost 2 hours and 50 minutes. Thanks for stopping by. Love your art. Thank you. So yeah, that part that kind of takes the longest when it's like not just a regular photo study. It's kind of trying to figure out lighting and composition and stuff. And I did all that was done prior to streaming. It was I did it like a couple weeks ago. I just finally am getting around to painting the actual painting now. Yeah, it totally makes sense. Love it. Thank you. On average, how many hours do you draw a day? On average, it's hard to say. It really varies a lot. I guess I would like it to be at least 1 to 2 hours a day, at least. But it depends on a lot on what kind of task I have to do. If I have like a lot of Hi from Catalonia. Love his job. Thank you. I like this picture. Are you on YouTube? Yeah, I'm on YouTube. My username, it's just that little banner scrolling across. My username on YouTube is just JMR Art. And thank you. Do you still use Pinterest for refs? So much AI there now. Yeah, it's annoying. But yeah, I mean, I find like a lot of these were Pinterest. But yeah, AI art has completely taken over. It's kind of annoying. And matter of fact, I think this one might be AI. Actually, this one is probably AI. AI always has that look, like you can tell by like the hair and stuff. I don't think I used that one. A lot of them are just like movie screenshots and stills. And there's a website called Film Grab where they have like screenshots from the movie. But yeah, AI is completely overtaking Pinterest. AI uses some canned features too. Yeah, the features are canned. The lighting is kind of canned. Like you can, it's always like a strong spotlight for some reason. And it's always like that anime-ish kind of style to it. It's hard to explain, but it's like you know it as soon as you see it. coming together though. One thing I liked about the last time, the Morpheus one, I like how it did like a crop with like the black border and everything. I should have maybe made this smaller so I could, or I might just crop some of this. I don't know yet how I'm gonna do it, or I might just leave it alone. I don't know. Peak Art, thank you. Yep, we see it too. I'm getting kind of hungry. Love your work from South Africa. Thank you. This was fun. Have to leave now. Greetings from Germany. Thanks for hanging out. I'm about to wrap it up soon anyway. Love it. Thank you for streaming. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it's in progress for now. Still haven't. It's coming together. A lot of that green base layer is still shining through, and like the glasses, I'm probably gonna leave it there. I like the gray, like the trying to simulate like the 5 o'clock shadow with like just different grays and stuff. It's kind of cool, but it's coming together. Still a long way to go, but it's barely did anything to the hand or gun. I'll probably do that next time. And in the background. Good morning from Japan. Love your art. Thank you. April, love your art. How come you usually do a blue layer behind the normal layers? One reason is to get rid of the white of the paper. Another reason is it's a nice complement to brownish orange skin tones because it's opposites on the color wheel. It's a complementary color. It helps. It will, whatever you put on top of it, it will help desaturate it. Just having something that's not directly in the reference helps you because it helps you be able to gauge how opaque you need to mix your paint in order to completely cover it if you want to. And yeah, that's kind of the main reasons why. The specific blue, like you can use, I like blue is one of my favorites to use, but you can use any color you want. It will have different effects, and it's kind of cool to experiment to see what those effects would be. Like sometimes I might use an orange if I want like a nice glow from within, like it gives it like a nice glowing look. No, I have Arnold Schwarzenegger on here. I think it was for the glasses or the lighting. I don't know. Hey man, awesome drawing. Love your art. Cheers from Brazil. Thank you. It was awesome. Thank you. Yeah, this might be the progress for today. For today, I think I'll pick it up. I probably could stream it too again tomorrow. That might be fun. Stream the rest of it. It will actually force me to work because once the camera came on, it was easy to just lock in and focus, not check my phone and stuff. So yeah, guys, thank you. I think I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by, and yeah.